Hello, I just want to make sure this microphone works.
To order. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Just before we get into the rest of the part of the agenda, currently we don't have a quorum, but we're going to go through the process. We just won't be able to take any official action on anything. Wanted to be upfront with you right now about that. Any changes to the agenda?
No, sir. If I may give some advice, I wonder if we should give maybe 5 minutes to see if Commissioner Yaden he was expected here, so I'm wondering if it'd be,
We could do that, but I think we can move to the agenda. Then by that time, the 5 minutes will have been consumed. If he shows up, then we can take action.
okay,
Can we do that?
it's your meeting, sir.
Okay. And we have new controls, so with the yellow light on, you're muted. The yellow light off, you are unmuted.
So we're muted with the light on,
You're muted with the light on.
we're not live.
All right, so roll call, please.
Chairman Stoppenbrink,
Here.
Vice Chairman Hill,
Here.
Commissioner Helmar, Commissioner Papiatro,
That's it.
Commissioner Yaden.
Okay, public comments under Government Code Section 54954.3. Members of the audience may address the commission on any item of interest to the public or on any agenda item before or during the commission's consideration of the item. State law prohibits the planning commission from acting on any non-agenda items. Any public comments? I know we have a public hearing with respect to the application, but are there any other public comments? Seeing none. We have the consent calendar on approval of the minutes. We cannot take any action on that. But I can open the public hearing on the resolution, correct? Or not correct?
I believe we can hear it, but there will be no action available. I don't know the value in that, but it's up to you, sir.
We're here, so we have an audience, and they may want to talk about it,
At
so.
least let them talk about it.
Sure, we can definitely hear it. We won't be able to, so just to make sure everybody understands what's happening. So we don't have a quorum, we don't have 3 people, 3 commissioners, so we're unable to take any action tonight. Any action or any discussion will not result in a decision tonight. But the chair is recommending we proceed with at least hearing the item, and we'll have to come back to it at a separate hearing to make any decisions. So.
All right, open up the public hearing with respect to the application for the conditional use permit modification and site plan review So if anybody in the audience would like to speak in favor or against this resolution, please step forward and state your name for the record. Don't everybody jump up at once now. We have plenty of time. Right over here, sir.
Again, for the record, no decision we made tonight.
I understand. It is recorded though, right? So the statement is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my name's Tyrell Davis. I am the plant manager for Granite Construction. I'm also the president for the Youth Oilers football program, vice president for the quarterback club, which is the boosters program for the high school football. And I'm also the treasurer for the Wrestling Foundation for all age levels of wrestling. I'm speaking on behalf or in favor of the Ayala, event hall. We struggle trying to find available places for us to be able to hold stuff, both Granite training facility or training programs that we do. And then with all the youth programs I'm involved in, we really struggle trying to find those things. So the more opportunities that we have, I think is beneficial to us as a community. Definitely for my youth programs. So I just wanted to speak on behalf of them and say how much we really need these opportunities. So,
Where have you had to go for your functions?
typically, we've tried to use the Elks and the Eagles. That's about all of the options that we have. And then a lot of times we end up having to schedule them where it's really not an ideal time because of availability. So if they are booked and we have to move, it's caused some issues. Work-wise, I've actually almost been in issues with some of our compliance because we have to have annual trainings. And if we go past even a day, we get dinged for it. We don't have facilities near us that can house that many people, so that's pretty crucial for us.
How many people are you talking about?
Right now, I actually am up to about 90 people.
How many?
90 people. So I oversee multiple operations within the valley, but we bring them all together here. This is our biggest facility, so we try to bring them here with the most people being here. But we do bring people from Orosi, from Avenel, from Clovis, so multiple operations.
So you coordinate like a district-wide
Yeah.
of all this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I know, well, I don't know about the Eagles, but I know the Elks. That place can hold 200 people.
Yeah, it's
So
not.
not having
it's-
enough room at these places.
No, it's not an
Water.
issue of not being able to hold the people, it's an issue of scheduling. So if they are booked, then it makes it difficult, right? And then we have to seek out somewhere else. So that's what I'm stating is that they're not always available, right? They may already have something going on.
So you have a cost difference. I mean, there's, the Eagles and the Elks are gonna charge something. From what I read in the proposals, that this would be made available with no charge to type of organizations that you just
Yeah, so the
represented.
youth programs, that's where it's really big for us because we are paying for the Eagles, we are paying for the Elks. That's where this really is beneficial to us as far as the youth programs that we have. So everything that we do on those youth programs, it's all fundraised. We're nonprofits in all three that I'm involved in, so.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Ralph?
My name's Ralph Gorell, and I'm here representing the property at 530 East Forest, or West Forest, which is adjacent to the property that's applied for the permit. Our property is zoned as manufacturing commercial, and we do not do that. So every time we have to renew our permit, we have to get Sean to give us a waiver so that we can just stay commercial. It's basically a storage facility for me and some of my equipment, and it's also a hobby shop for Mr. Smith, who's building his top fuel drag bike. Our concern is that, A, it violates the current zoning on that street and those facilities that are zoned that way. B, if you build a building on there, there's not enough square footage for parking and for safety egress. And also, it's going to bring in people that aren't in the commercial zone. They're gonna see stuff that opens up a whole wide world of other people being able to look at what's going on. We're concerned about theft and other things. I understand his concern because the wrestling people are next to me where my location is on Forest Street, or on Glen Street. But there are buildings, like Mr. Hill said, there's the Elks and the Eagles that are available. We have a problem of empty space right now. I mean, I'd love to find bigger property, more room, but the rates, there's nothing comparable in this town that is affordable. So those of us who have a space are holding on to it tightly. I don't want to lose my spot, and Mr. Jones, or Mr. Smith, who owns 530 Forest, I mean, that's a valuable piece of property to him. And having a non-commercial entity next to him would be a detriment. And I think that, because of my background in development, I think that if you look at the parking, you look at the emergency egress, you look at where it's at and the type of business they're putting in there, I don't think that's the ideal spot for it. We have other locations in town that they could look at. There's other property available. For years, that was a manufacturing or a commercial operation. It was related to the oil industry, and I think, even when it was an Oxbow car lot for a while, and I know one time Doc Thurston rented those buildings and stored his old cars in there, it was still not a public access location. It's hard to have mixed use where you've got a lot of commercial stuff and all of a sudden you're putting a restaurant or a nightclub in the middle of it. It doesn't work. So I would like everybody to take a long, hard look at that. And I think that in the consideration of approving the site plan and everything else, fire, safety, police, everybody needs to be involved in that discussion. I don't see that being a viable operation there. And it would be sad to see somebody build a building and A, impact the neighborhood around them, but B, have a building that maybe didn't work for them, and then we have another empty building. We have buildings in town we need to utilize now. There's a lot of property out on 198, and I'm surprised at how much of it is deteriorating and gone to waste. That I know it's the people that are trying to sell it are asking way too much. The people that are renting it are paying way too much. But for his operation and for other people, we have, like I said, we have the Elks and the Eagles. And I think Mr. Hill will attest, the Elks is vacant more than it's full. They would love to get more business in there. And the Eagles is the same way. So,
when it comes to the youth programs, we don't charge for the youth program.
Right.
That's one of our things that we don't
Yep.
charge. I don't know who's charging you, but we don't charge. I mean, I've made it a point that when we do the Girl Scouts or whenever we've had them, we've had the Oilers and everything come into the Elks, and we don't charge them, I mean, if you, I don't know who you've talked to, but I'm sure if you would talk to the Eagles, or if you would come down and talk to our exalted ruler or myself, I mean, I know that we can always make arrangements to cancel something or to bring you in on a certain day that you have to be done. But I understand what you're trying to do, that you want to have your own agenda. But like Ralph is saying, the Eagles and the Elks, the women's club also, there's a lot of options, when somebody says there's not a lot of options. I find that a little hard to believe when you got Park and Rec, our place, Eagles, and the women's club that are dying to do things for the youth.
The Elks do charge us, the Eagles charge us, and the women's club does not have AC, so that is a huge issue when you're trying to have that many people there. We have utilized the Parks and Rec.
Okay, we're gonna need to get this recorded, so If you're going to respond, you're going to need to go to the microphone. But before you do that, I want to let Ralph finish his part, and then you can come back up, please. Okay.
Well, basically, since this is being tabled, it's great because Mr. Smith will be back the next time we get together. But I just hope that, like I said, the safety concerns are looked at very strongly. We just put in that bike lane or hiking path or whatever behind that property. And since the installation of that, we've had 5 incidents of people trying to climb over the fence and get inside. It's opened up a whole new world of things. So I just hope that it gets looked at very strongly from police and fire's aspect and overall infrastructure aspect as to whether or not we can actually support that property and that building. That's a dangerous road right there, because that Y and that curve and people coming in off of Elm Street, they fly down that road. If you look back at past records from fire and city, the gas meters and the water meters at 530 have been torn out 3 or 4 times. So, you know, it's not a safe location. It's not a location where you'd want a lot of people going in and out with kids or even adults going in to dance and drink and do whatever. I don't know what the total intent of that building is, but I know it's more than just a warehouse. It's going to be set up to be used as a public place. So that zone manufacturing commercial, I think it needs to stay manufacturing commercial.
Thank you, Ralph.
Okay.
Is this mixed media where he's at?
Sorry, Steve.
The project,
So-
the building, that's a mixed media, isn't it? That zone is a zone mixed.
Can I put it on the record?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't. If it's okay, Richard, go ahead and ask your question.
Put your microphone on.
I'm trying to find out if that piece of property that we're talking about, your property, is mixed media. Has it been zoned with, as mixed media?
So-
Where you can have one thing or another, you know?
If I can speak to that, if you'll allow me. So what we're here to do tonight is to Mr. and Mrs. Ayala have applied for a conditional use permit, and it does meet the zoning code, if approved by this body. So you do have discretion, and we will see a presentation from our planners today. So there is, basically what the intent is for the Ayalas to change the occupancy of the building from an S, which is storage for their trucking company, to an assembly area. We've worked very diligently, I say we, because I feel like I've been involved in this project myself, trying to help them get the necessary plans, get the necessary architect stamps, and go through the building permit process. So we feel strongly that it meets the intent of the zoning ordinance. However, this body does have final authority over a decision, so.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so just as a response to like the Elks, we are charged by the Elks. We are charged by the Eagles. The Parks and Rec is one that we have utilized. They also do charge, but we've kind of worked around that a few times with people that are board members, that they are allotted, so many days that they're able to rent it out for free. And given our community, that we've had people help us out in that way. Just in response to some of the property, I've been actively looking at a piece of property somewhere within town for our wrestling foundation. Our wrestling foundation has to pay a monthly rent. So we're rent and utilities. We're about $1,000 a month that we have to pay for. So we've been actively looking for somewhere. And I think you mentioned how the prices are outrageous. There was a certain market with a certain industry that came into town and drove up the cost of those buildings. And it doesn't seem like it's going down anytime soon. So there is not a lot of options in trying to go out and purchase somewhere outside of town or one of these places, like going up 198. It's really almost impossible. So there is, that issue. It's not as easy as just buying another piece of property that's somewhere else. But yes, going back to our youth programs, We've had occasions where people have given us them for free, but with the Elks, for example, I do get charged. I know our cheer program has often gotten it for free. They are a separate entity. I'm not really a part of them, but they have gotten it for free. But on the football side, we have been charged, so.
I mean, my thing is, you know, if you're being charged for youth programs, and I'm only gonna talk about the Elks, because I don't know how the Eagles do it, but, you know. But I know in the Elks, if you was to come down to the Elks and say, I wanna have a meeting with you guys about, you know, the youth programs, I know that that the Elks will sit down and have a ongoing discussion with you about, you know, doing the very best of not charging. I mean, because we have made that one of our issues this year, are the youth programs in Kalinga, is to give them everything we can give them and then give them more. So I don't know when's the last time you went down and discussed anything with the Elks. I have never seen you down there, you know, come down and discuss about your program. I mean, I'm not saying you haven't, but I haven't seen you.
No, you're right. I have not gone down there because we have been charged. I've actually utilized our cheer program to get us the Elks because they didn't get charged. So that's a lot of times who helps us book it. We do have it booked for August 7th, actually. And I went through them to get it. So because of the history that I've had of being charged through the football program. And yes, I could have probably done a little bit more due diligence and went out and met. But when I call, I get told that what the price is, and that's what we pay. And it's not an unreasonable price. Don't get me wrong, and that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say the Elks are really doing anything wrong to us. Neither are the Eagles. Neither is the Park and Rec Department. This is just an option for us that is very beneficial. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't want to make it sound like the Elks or Eagles or anybody has treated us badly, because that is not the case.
I mean, because that's what our service groups here in Kalinga are for, you know, it's for,
Yes.
you know, the senior citizens, the youth groups. I mean,
Commissioner Hill, if I may, what I recommend at this point is that we examine the merits of this project for the conditional use permit for the Ayalas, and maybe discuss the merits of the Elks versus other venues at a separate time. Maybe let's if that's okay.
Yeah, I think so. So, anything else?
I think that's it.
Anybody else want to speak before I close the public hearing? Okay, close the public hearing. You said you had a presentation, Justin?
Yes, sir. Robert, do we have Luke and Jenna on?
Hello. Thank you, Chair Stoppenbrink and
Might need a
Commissioner
little more
Hill.
volume.
Are you good? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, if Robert can turn it up just a tad. There you are.
Perfect. Is that better?
A little bit better, a little bit more, if you could. Can you say something, Luke?
Testing.
Okay, well, we'll take that.
Okay, I'll try to talk as close to the microphone as possible.
There you go.
Okay, thank you, Chair Stoppenbrink, Commissioner Hill. Unfortunate that we do not have a quorum tonight, but I will just give a brief overview of the project. So in May of this year, the Community Development Department accepted the application for the conditional use permit modification and site plan review for the proposed banquet and gathering hall located at 140 Truman Street. The applicants propose to use a portion of the property as a banquet and gathering hall for various private events, such as fundraisers, funeral services, birthday parties, etc. According to their application, they plan to use the previously approved 2,400 square foot building that's on the, I guess it's east, the northeast corner of the site. They propose to use that for the banquet and gathering hall use. There's 27 proposed parking stalls throughout the site, and the application proposes to use the banquet hall during the hours of operation for Monday through, it's open from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., and then on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. As as mentioned previously, the banquet and gathering hall, which was previously approved in, I believe it was 2022. It's a 2,400 square foot building. They also have 2 additional smaller buildings that are associated with the gathering hall use. There's a 77 square foot restroom building, and then also an ADA restroom building that's approximately 60 square feet.
Luke, do you have a site plan you could pull up?
I do. Give me 1 second. Sorry, please bear with me. My computer's being a little bit slow.
It's okay if you don't have it, I guess.
I have it right here. It finally pulled up. There we go. All right, can you see it?
Not yet. Maybe Robert needs to do something. There it is. All right, we got you.
Cool. All right. Yeah, so this is the existing building, existing 2,400 square foot building. There's also a restroom building, again, 77 square feet, and then a approximately 60 square foot ADA restroom building. And that's to comply with building code requirements. So in the municipal code, the banquet hall land use classification it's classified as small scale entertainment and recreation, according to the definitions section, which is Article 2 of Chapter 1 of Title 9 of the Kalinga Municipal Code. These small scale entertainment and recreation facilities specifically are classified as small, generally indoor facilities that occupy less than 10,000 square feet of building area, such as billiard parlors, card rooms, dance halls, pool rooms, amusement arcades, etc. The classification can include restaurants, snack bars, and other incidental food and beverage services to patrons. Staff feels that this use classification is the most consistent with this proposed use. As I mentioned previously, the site did have a previously approved conditional use permit for a truck terminal facility. This current proposal constitutes a modified land use change of a previously permitted use on the property. And so because this application proposes to modify that previous CUP approval, with a new use, the conditional use permit modification is required by code. Similarly, a site plan review is required for all development projects. So because they are proposing a new use, the site plan review is also required by code. The land use and zoning for the subject property is service commercial, or CS, which is the zoning designation. That service commercial designation allows for a full range of retail and service uses that typically require a single purpose trip to visit a commercial establishment. Repair facilities, building materials, industrial suppliers, auto and accessory dealers, light manufacturing, and other, lighter industrial uses are permitted in this zoning designation. Staff has found that the project is consistent with general plan goals and policies to expand opportunities for the community. There are relevant general plan policies and goals outlined in the staff report. The surrounding land use setting to the north and to the west, the existing zoning is service commercial. To the south is a general commercial, and then to the east, there is a trail. I believe it's existing now. There's a trail there, but there is a residential medium density land use and zoning designation to the east. The full site is approximately 37,000 square feet. It's currently occupied by a previously approved truck terminal, as mentioned earlier, and the site has a shop and storage building, an office building, and 3 small accessory porch structures, and then also the metal building that was previously approved for the truck terminal use. That metal building is proposed to be converted to a banquet and gathering hall. The site's partially improved with asphalt, and the remaining portion of the lot is improved with compacted gravel, where the semi-trucks are currently parked for the truck terminal use. The property is largely surrounded by chain link fencing with privacy slats, excepting the northern portion, which does not have privacy slats. Ingress and egress are accessed off of Truman. There's an existing 35-foot wide drive approach with an electric rolling gate to avoid queuing on Truman as the cars and trucks enter the property. There's currently landscaping along the project frontage, which satisfies the planning and zoning requirement for frontage landscaped areas. Any dead or diseased trees are conditioned to be replaced per a public works inspection on the site. Again, the project proposes to convert that previously approved warehouse building into a banquet and gathering hall for various private parties. The project also proposes new car parking stalls and 2 new restroom facilities, as mentioned previously. The site is currently connected to existing utilities. There are readily available points of connection for any necessary utility upgrades to the site. However, staff does not feel that utility upgrades are warranted. The proposed development proposes 27 parking spaces. However, the municipal code for small entertainment and recreation uses, parking spaces are the requirement for parking spaces are to be determined by the community development director, and staff has determined that this project warrants 1 parking space for every 75 square feet of assembly area. So because there's 2,400 square feet of proposed assembly area, there are 32 required stalls. So because of that, the project has been conditioned to provide 5 additional parking stalls. And there are portions on the southeastern ends of the site that additional parking stalls can be included. As you can see here, there's some space to add 5 additional parking stalls. There are no refuse and trash containers depicted on the site plan. However, the project has been conditioned to revise the site plan, and the plan set to construct a new trash enclosure consistent with city standards. all lighting on the site was previously approved under prior entitlements, and therefore it satisfies the requirements for lighting outlined in the municipal code. There is no signage approved as part of this application. The applicant has been conditioned to submit a typical sign permit application, which is reviewed at staff level in order to install any new signage on the site. The applicant did submit a noise assessment that was done by a qualified noise consultant. That noise assessment has determined that noise levels with indoor amplified sound shows a less than significant impact with respect to the general plan criteria for noise. Specifically, that analysis determined that the closest residential land use, which is the Terry Glen apartments to the southeast, it would receive a maximum of 58 decibels with indoor amplified music and all roll-up doors in the up position. And this does fall below the city's normally acceptable level of 59 decibels, as identified in the general plan. Regardless of that, the project has been conditioned to limit all amplified sound, including amplified music, to the hours of 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and then to disallow all outdoor amplified sound, and to install a decibel reader at property lines in order to monitor noise levels. The project's located, obviously, it's located within the city limits. It'll be served by the Coalinga Police Department and Coalinga Fire Department. The project was routed to those respective service departments. However, no comments have been received to date. Typically, staff, if there are no comments received from the routing departments, staff takes it as, those departments are okay with the proposed development or proposed use. The project has been determined to be categorically exempt from CEQA through a Class 32 exemption, which is the infill development exemption. There's none of the exceptions to the categorical exemptions in the CEQA guidelines apply to the project. And again, public notification was sent out for this public hearing. As of tonight, I believe there's been no written or oral comments on the project other than the ones you just heard from the public hearing. So because of all of that, staff does recommend approval of the project because it does meet the Coalinga zoning code with respect to the site plan review findings and the conditional use permit findings. And the project has been evaluated against the municipal code and the general plan, and it has been found to be consistent with the general plan. That concludes my presentation. I'm open for any comments or questions.
Thank you. Okay, again, my apologies to the audience. I know you came here expecting something, but you got something, but not what you wanted to hear one way or the other. So this will be back on the Planning Commission agenda again sometime in the future. But thank you for coming, thank you for sharing, and stay tuned.
Chair, may I?
Go ahead, Jesse.
May I allow, may I recommend that we allow the applicants to speak since they're here?
Absolutely, yeah.
Does anybody wish to speak to this?
I thought that they didn't have the chance during the public hearing?
This is the public hearing.
I closed it.
Oh.
Can we reopen the public hearing?
Hi, I'm Miranda Ayala. I'm the daughter of Ruben and Elida Ayala. I've been helping them with this project, giving the best guidance I can. I've heard a lot from the community, and hopefully next time we can get a little bit more people out here to give some positive feedback. But about this project, I just want to say we're grateful to have this opportunity. There is a lot of places that are available for gatherings, and we just want to be a part of that community and that group of people. So again, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you guys again.
Thank you.
Thanks, I wasn't sure if they needed, if they wanted to speak, so.
Anybody else?
If I,
Okay,
If I
close the
may-
public hearing again.
sorry,
Again, thank you. We have no action items. So department reports, nothing from,
Nothing to report.
all right, communications from staff.
None.
Chair Stoppenbrink, if I may, if we could just schedule this for a date certain, that way we won't have to go out for noticing again, if that's okay with Jesse.
Definitely okay with me. I'm looking to the city clerk to see if we can. It's the second, he just
What
wants
was the question? I didn't-
to, Luke's asking if we can, set the next date of the next hearing.
I don't know that we have a date yet.
Well, we have opportunities, I think the second and fourth Tuesday?
Correct.
Is that the correct one? So the next opportunity would be the second Tuesday of August.
Which would be August 11th. Or, yeah, August 11th.
Yeah, so it'd be August the 12th, 11th.
Is that what you're asking, Luke? Did I?
That's correct. That just, foregoes notice, it just makes it so the city doesn't have to send out notices. Again.
While you're here, can we consider the noticing that we gave for this meeting, can we consider that for the 11th, or do we have to renotice?
Only if the commission sets, the next hearing, so continues the item for a date certain.
Okay, so,
So-
the chair would need to continue this meeting until a date certain, which is 11 August.
Okay, so we'll table this until August the 11th, and we will notify everybody accordingly. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Continue. You'll be continuing it.
To be continued at that time. We did know that two of our commissioners were not going to be here, but we were confident that had three of us here to do action. But again, my apologies, so,
If I can just make one comment to the applicants, I want to thank you for coming in force today. My apologies. We really thought we'd have three people, we could get a decision for you. I know how hard you've worked on this, and we do recommend approval, so it'll be up to this body to make that decision. But I do want to thank you for your time and all your hard work, so.
Commissioner Hill, any other comments?
No, I think it's a good program too. Anytime we're working with the youth and the community and everything, I think it's a great program. It's just that I had a couple of questions, that you had brought up. But anytime we can do stuff for the youth, and I'm 100% behind you because I know what you do, so. I'm looking forward to the 11th. You should look forward to the 11th as well.
Okay, great. Meeting adjourned.